Hi everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, and this is Connor.
Hey guys.
We're going to talk about The Flash, Season 2, Episode 19. It's called Back to Normal. Full spoilers for the episode, as always, on this show. And I thought this was a pretty good episode.
I agree.
I thought last week had some good points, but there was a lot of weird things holding it back, and just a lot of things that didn't quite add up. This week I thought they explored a lot of the fallout really well.
Yeah, definitely.
Particularly, I thought Barry trying to adjust to be normal again was interesting. I liked how they started off with that quick sort of montage of what he'd normally do in the morning. Although, he did technically steal his coffee. Just putting that out there.
I can't say I clocked that one, but
He just runs in and takes it off the counter. He didn't stop.
maybe he leaves the money.
Yeah, but that was someone else's coffee. They've put that down for someone else who's there already.
Maybe he phones in advance and says, "Here, I just leave my order there."
He's a
And he
coffee thief.
Look, he's the Flash. They have a coffee named after him. I'm sure they can let him off just having a free one every
Are
morning.
you suggesting that he's got like a running sort of deal with them where he's like every morning I'm going to come in and take a couple of coffees?
And he licenses his
Yeah.
symbol for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
You think that's what it is? Okay.
Why not?
I also thought the villain this week was not amazing, but I thought it worked for thematically because I had to tend to the ideas that Wells has guilt,
Yeah.
even though he's not mad at that Wells. The fact is, he still had the particle accelerator on his Earth, and he still caused problems. So it's the guilt's still there. And I thought the whole notion that it seems like it's a good superpower. It's like, why would you be that upset about this?
And then
And there's a
it's
twist.
aging him again now.
Yeah, I thought,
I also thought it was really refreshing to just get back to a particle accelerator meta. Weirdly. Because even when it first happens, they assume it's something from Earth too.
yeah, that's true.
And I thought, oh, it was nice to see that, oh yeah, the particle accelerator metas are still just out there and causing trouble every so often.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's nice that they've diversified and there's things like Earth 2 and I'm sure there'll be more
Yeah,
stuff
but
that goes
it
into
doesn't
it.
need to be exclusive.
Yeah, yeah, of course. So, nah, I thought that was fine. The aging effects were better than I would have thought they were going to be, had you told me about this in advance.
Yeah, I've seen much worse.
There's a couple of moments that looked a little bit weird, but at that last fight scene when he was aging like rapidly, like after every like punch or whatever, it didn't look too bad.
It didn't.
So, props there. I guess they didn't have any super speed to spend effects on this episode, so they could pump
Did it on
all.
that and throwing all the big objects.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I suppose they had the zoom super speed stuff to do over on Earth too, but still
Well, it's
less
not
than
as
normal.
much as that as normal, yeah.
Yeah, less than normal. So yeah, I thought it was good. I liked Wally in this episode actually. I thought Wally's little story here, how he really wanted to thank the Flash because it's the first time he's ever.
I mean, I thought it was a little bit dumb that you hadn't figured out that it was Barry, but
I agree. It's a little bit dumb that he didn't figure out it was Barry. He at least got to the point where he knows that Joe knows him.
yeah, but just, look, next step, dude. Just even when it showed you the previously of Barry there, it's like he conceals his voice, but not his. He doesn't do his head shake thing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
I don't know. Maybe it's like just he thinks Barry's so lame. There's no way he's possibly the Flash. That never even enters his head.
it's a fair idea.
That's going to be my explanation of that for now.
Yeah,
So I like the Wally stuff. I think Jesse. I like the Jesse Wells stuff in this episode for the most part. I think she's a little bit too whiny the first scene we see her in at the house, but I liked pretty much everything else. I liked her interacting with the team. I liked her being on the team and doing stuff. She felt like a good fit.
it also feels like maybe they could kill Caitlyn off now.
It does, doesn't it?
Like that, because now they've actually got. Before it doesn't feel like as much of a threat because she's such an integral part of the team, but now they've got someone there who can do her job.
Who, knowing the comics, should have a future.
Yeah,
So possibly she could be there to replace her. It would also give some serious stakes to the final or the big fight between Zoom and Flash eventually. Especially if both of them are both like Because depending on how it happens, like I don't know if if Zoom just gets mad and kills her, then fair enough, maybe not so much, but it still would be technically. He'd have the whole "oh, you made me kill her and I loved her," blah blah blah, right? But you could have it be that if she dies sort of by accident somehow, like as a sort of offshoot to something, you could see the Flash being pissed at Zoom because it's his fault. It caused all this, but you could also see Zoom being angry about it and be like, "I loved her. I'm going to fucking kill you."
Yeah.
And then they're both motivated by the same death.
Exactly. I feel like it was. While I like Caitlyn in general, I do feel having the consequences there of a big character death could be effective.
Yeah, I agree. I don't necessarily think it's definitely going to happen, but I agree that it's a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that. Unlike a certain feature film that came out recently, the idea of killing someone has consequence and is ridden with guilt, and is not something that you should be doing willy nilly. As Wells and Jesse's conversation certainly brings up.
I do. Wells is one of the best characters on the show. I think he's so because obviously first you got the fact that he's so different to the Wells that we do in season 1, but then he's got a lot of layers to him. Like he's really cold and detached, but he has obviously all this guilt, and he has like a friendship with Cisco and stuff.
Yeah, he's not evil. He's a bit of a dickhead, but he's not evil.
Yeah, I think he's really interesting.
Obviously the ending's really interesting. The post scene, if you will, where Wells says they're going to get another particle accelerator explosion to get Barry's speed back, which I like. Because when it gives them a mission for at least the next episode, possibly multiple, depending on how difficult they want to make this. I don't know, given how quickly characters can regain the ability to walk in this universe, maybe getting your speed back should be quite quick. I don't know. But I like this because it reminds me of a little bit of Flashpoint.
I was thinking that as well.
Yeah, where, because I won't spoil it too much, but if you've not read Flashpoint, Barry doesn't have his speed, and to get it back, he deliberately puts himself in an electric chair to simulate.
I also thought that last week with Hunter's origin story with the Zoom stuff, and he's in the electric chair there. So it's kind of a weird, nice parallel if Barry has to do that, mimic that version of it to get his speed back now.
I mean, that's a good point actually, because he gets struck by lightning as well, so we'd have to also have the lightning, I think, unless the show
you have to simulate it somehow.
Unless the show says that the lightning wasn't actually lightning, it was just part of the explosion, like the wave.
It would, unless it was just lightning's just electricity. They can simulate that.
Yeah. No, but what I'm saying is maybe I'm saying that maybe they're going to say that the lightning bolt itself isn't
right. Yeah.
essential to the thing. I mean, that's what I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But if it is, then yeah, I can see them using the electric chair or something similar. Get what's her face from Supergirl over here. Piss her off. Get her to shock him.
Livewire.
Livewire. There you go. Get her over here. Just call her a slut or something, and then just watch the sparks fly.
Let her go. Yeah.
That's a plan.
That'd be fun.
So that leads us, of course, the one thing I've not talked about is the big stuff, Earth 2, with Zoom and Caitlyn.
Yeah.
I knew Killer Frost was a goner.
Oh, yeah. I like the idea that he was keeping her alive because he didn't have actual Caitlyn. So it was the closest thing he could get.
Yeah. And obviously they're teasing the man in the iron mask, and it's all very interesting. And I was actually thinking when she breaks her out, because I thought when she was setting up all that stuff and she was explaining how the glass would get weaker, I thought it was still going to be a case of her using her powers to get out. But when I seen her just smash it with a hammer, wrench, whatever it was, I thought, oh, so why can't she just get Mask Boy out as well? But then of course Zoom says if you do that with him, I'm going to kill him too. So
yeah,
she has a reason not to do it now.
She does. Although I did notice another mention of Eddie this week.
I did notice that as well.
It's on my mind now.
But which also happened to be in a scene where Iris and Barry were bonding over him saving her, which I actually thought was a good scene. Otherwise, though, I thought that was a good little nice. As much as we were joking that, well, actually, we didn't actually have a problem with Iris being into Barry now. It actually kind of makes sense to me.
It makes sense because it's just how things have got to go.
I have to say though, I think that scene felt really nice and natural. The way she sort of stayed back, like the way Joe sort of hinted at her to talk to him, and then she sort of came over and just sort of initiated the conversation. It felt very natural. Like, okay, I can see that he's been a thing. I almost expected her to hug him like from behind, almost like a couple would. Even though they're not at that point yet, but at the same time, I kind of feel like it would almost feel natural for her to just put her arms around him from behind and just sort of like ask if he's okay.
Yeah, it's fair to say, since the start of the show, those two have always had chemistry anyway, so it just makes sense.
They have more chemistry in her and Eddie.
Oh, definitely.
But that's kind of okay because we always knew that Eddie's going to be gone at some point. While it was death or breakup or whatever, we knew eventually it was going to be Harrison Barry, so that's fine. So Eddie, I'm almost sure
it's looking more and more likely, isn't it?
Earth 2 Mask Man is Eddie. I would love to swerve me though and give me something like really interesting, but I'm going to assume it's Eddie, and that way, if it is Eddie from Earth 2, I'm not going to be too upset. I still think his dad's a possibility. I also still think Barry from the future is a possibility.
Yeah, and real Jay Garrick, but
that wouldn't mean anything to us because we don't know his face.
Yeah, that's my one thing. That because they've got his face covered, it has to be someone we'd recognise. Otherwise, there'd be no point. It could be anyone.
And we know he's white, so it can't be a Wally, unless Wally in that Earth's white, which could be
Ginger Wally.
Ginger Wally.
Go on.
If people can have brothers and not have brothers in different universes, I don't see why one person can be black in one universe and white in another.
Iris and Joe.
Yeah, some things are the same, but some things can be different.
But they're related. They're the same family.
Okay, so it wouldn't work for Wally, but it could.
Yeah, that's what I mean, specifically for Wally.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay, but I don't know, whoever.
Yeah.
But no, all very interesting. Zoom phasing through, Caitlin, pretty badass.
Definitely. That must feel really horrible.
Yeah, that was the effect standout moment of the episode. But,
definitely.
And of
Tell
course,
what I didn't like.
Well, what?
Felicity saving the goddamn day. Oh
god,
it's spreading.
To be fair, it's a line. It's just a line of dialogue to explain where they got the magic thing that goes in.
I know, but don't test me now.
Dear. And of course, the one last thing with Zoom is that he decides at the end, you know what? I've already scared the shit out of this Earth. Let's go and mess up your Earth.
Yeah, he was like, fuck it, let's go see how many Earths I can conquer.
So if I was to guess, I do think that the particle explosion will happen next episode. Sometimes Flash does things much quicker, no pun intended, than I expect. But if I was to guess, I would say that Zoom starts messing with shit. So they've got a sort of race against time to try and get Barry's powers back.
It'll be 2/3 through the next episode.
I think that's maybe more likely, but at the same time, if I was doing it, I would make it the end. I'd make the final shot him with the lightning go around.
I would, but it's just honestly, I expected it to kind of be done by the end of this episode. Like we said, the time where Barry lost the ability to walk and.
I'm glad they didn't do it by the end of this episode, though.
I'm glad they didn't, but when I was going into it, I was kind of expecting it to be kind of by the end of this one.
I would almost be happy if it took a few episodes, like if this was a mission for a few. But I'm fine with it happening next week, though. Like I'm fine with it doing.
They're on a deadline, to be fair.
Yeah, with Zoom showing up, like at least it'll give it some tension because they're having to. Yeah. And it'll be that thing where it's going to look like all hope is lost, and then.
Yeah.
Struggle.
Triumphant return.
He's going to come in with the yellow lightning like going around him, and
it's gonna be a damn good moment.
It should be a damn good moment. So yeah, so that's the Flash this week. Pretty good. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and like and subscribe and all that jazz helps us out a lot. Thanks very much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.